Come again. Hello everyone, my name is CEM ÖZTÜRK. I am working in Kortsa Research and Development Department as the platform leader, and I will be discussing and I will be conveying you our projects related to sustainability. Well, we are trying to have a more sustainable motto for our company, but we are very ambitious in terms of sustainability, and we would like to be carbon zero by 2050, but there are some supporting pillars for this, and we have been working in this area for long years, and we would like to be more efficient. We would like to consume less water, less energy, and these were in the scope of Kortsa, even when the other companies didn't include them to this sustainability strategy. And we are also acting in terms of responsibility towards humanity, for example, for the employee security. And also education is very important, and social responsibility. It doesn't matter for me whether English or Turkish. Well, there are some columns that are supporting us. We have the research and development for sustainable materials, and our activities have been going on for a while, especially in terms of composites and in terms of rubber. And you know, we have UN development goals related to sustainability. There are some objectives and goals, and in 2022 we have achieved 12.6% emission reduction, and we are trying to reach up to 46.2% emission reduction by 2030, and by 2050 we will have net zero. And in terms of clean water and sanitation, in 2022 we had 21.5% water withdrawal, and by 2030 we will have 50% water withdrawal reduction per unit tonnage product sales. And now, in terms of responsible consumption and production, we have 9% total waste reduction, and by 2030 we will reach up to 50% total waste reduction. And for gender equality, we are now employing 38.3% women employment, but by 2025 we are targeting to reach 45% women employment. And for the decent work and economic growth, well, our motto is zero accident. It is apart from sustainability, but we attach great importance to have zero accident. Well, for global footprint, we have the orange areas, and you see these are tire reinforcement. And in Turkey, Izmit, we also have these tire companies. For composite facilities, now we have included Italy for this year, and we have two composite facilities, two R&D centers, and we have the other companies in San Marcos and Santa Ana as well, in the areas of construction reinforcement, tire reinforcement, and composite reinforcement. Our sustainability activities are conducted in these areas. Well, what kind of projects do we have in terms of sustainability? Well, I will generally focus on composites because tire is out of our agenda for this fair. Well, one of our projects is EV battery casing. Well, I'm talking about the battery case when the composite, and especially carbon composite, is used here. When compared to the steel casing, it is 50% weight saving. So, as a result of saving up 50% of weight, we have 7.6 gram kilometer emission reduction. And another project that we actualized so far is E-Glass Prepreg OM11, which is designed to lighten the steel, like firefighters, fire engines, and these springs are used. And when we turn into composite structure, then there is weight reduction up to 70%, and fatigue resistance triples. And with regards to the material use, I will show in the next slide. We have bio-based raw material development, and we have reduced chemical usage. And there are some solvent-based prepregs, and these CMC prepregs are replaced metal turbine blades in aerospace. And now in industry, we have honeycomb competitors, and they are generally used inside of airplanes. But it is not used. It is not using solvent, but it's actually solved in water. That is why the harm to the environment is less. And again, for Axiom company, we have in the turbine blades, we are replacing metal blades, and we are using ceramic-based prepregs, which we call CMC prepregs. Well, I've already touched upon waste. We have Microtex company, and we have KTMM for European side. We have recycled carbon fibers and the prepregs with these fibers. And for solvent management and solvent recycling, we are trying to reduce the waste as well. Well, this is the leaf spring with Corsa OM11 prepreg. Well, when it is steel, then it is about 125 kilogram. But when we turn it into PMC, then it is 25 kilogram, and the fatigue life is 300,000 cycle. Well, this is used for suspension, and it is for resistance. Well, for our PMC leaf spring, you see that the total weight reduced by 100 kilograms. Well, according to the type of the vehicle, we will say that the weight reduced, the fuel consumption has reduced as well, and it will also yield a capacity increase, and it will also be increased in terms of resistance. For example, the current steel leaf spring is broken within 100 cycle, then our PMC spring can be broken up to 300,000 cycle. And this is CMC intermediates tribune. And what is the advantage? Normally, when we see the tribunes, maybe sometimes we see them in the movies, in the documentaries, they are generally metal. Maybe the chemicals would know. These intermediates, when they used in high temperature, they lost their characteristics, but when it is compared with ceramics, I will say that the ceramics can work in high temperatures, and the ceramic material can reach up to 1200 temperatures. Well, when we use these ceramics, we can use jet motors, and we can use jet fuel with higher efficiency. Well, after these examples, this is our sustainable product portfolio. We have composite, tire, and construction, and we have 62 sustainable products in our portfolio. We have 9 enablers, and we have 21 mitigation, and 30 of them for transition, and we have 2 positive social impact. And again, I will mention some examples. I have already mentioned composite technologies. For tire reinforcement, we have CapMax Cocoon project. Let me talk about Cocoon. Our Cocoon product is using a resin called RFL resin, and it is the fiber structure inside of the tire. So when a tire is destroyed, you will see some seals and some polymers, and they should bind together with tires, with rubbers, and there are size and surface and for the fibers, and there is this coating, surface coating for these fibers as well, and these are harmful to environment generally, but Corsa is with this Cocoon project is using less harmful materials to the human health, and within the scope of this project, with the open innovation, we are sharing this technology with all of the companies, and they use the system, and they develop their own products with this environmental approach. And of course, we have mentioned composite, and when we are using solvent-based prepregs for the nylon plastic products, we are also recycling these nylons and these plastics, and we are reusing them. And again, propylene constructions, reinforcement, synthetic fiber concrete reinforcement. Our studies are going on in the construction area. We now recycle our materials, and we reuse them, and we try to reduce the emission. Well, for R&D investments, up to now, we have invested $11.2 million in our portfolio. The ratio of the R&D expenditures for environmentally friendly products is up to 67.5%, and we have 490 registered patents. And what we are trying to achieve here to have a low carbon transition. And from the composite side, we are attaching importance to the automotive and marine grade oven, and with the autoclave curing, we have our high pressure and high energy consumption and high costs. That is why in the recent years, with the autoclave quality, we need to have oven curable with less consumption of energy, which could be produced by more companies, because as I just said, autoclave is very expensive and it is not easily reached from the other companies. That's why we had such requests. Well, the first product is AX201XL, and this is generally developed for automotive and marine industry. And we also are developing out of autoclave prepregs for aerospace application status. It is oven curable as well, and it can be cured with low temperature when compared to autoclave. And other than that, we have oven curable prepreg materials, and our expectation is that they will not be flammable, and even they are flammable, then they should have low flame, and this is called low flame toxicity. And when it is analyzed, when the focus is analyzed, the ratio of carbon monoxide or the other gas should be low.
Sürdürüyoruz.
Now, in terms of R&D, there are some other developments. Mayo-based epoxy is another matter of interest for us. And on top of this, honeycomb materials is again a topic in our agenda. Water-based resins, phenolanic resins are again an area of focus, thinking that it's going to be more environmental friendly. And now we are working on bio-based resins that is going to be a good replacement alternative. We believe that those resins that are hazardous for the human health, we have some molecules in that, therefore we're going to be able to remove all of them. A new generation sustainable natural resins are going to be preferred by us. In another topic, we focus on vitrimers, and to summarize them, they are recyclable thermoset products, which means that you're curing them while recycling, and then afterwards, when you're ending your work with that material, then you can also repair it if it is damaged by heat, and again you can just convert it back to the monomers and you can shape them once again. So we're working on these materials as well. Bio-based thermoplastic prep development is another area of focus for us. As I said, the resins that I was mentioning are can be either polypropylene or some other, and again some other polymers. And again, as I said, these are all obtained from bioreactors, and when they're synthesized, we don't use any oil products. In biorefineries, they are synthesized from natural products. Here again, I'd like to show you a product here. This is KY14. We're about to launch this product. This is going to be used within the aircrafts or even the trains, and the standard is much more higher and in compliance with the aerospace aircrafts. So it is meeting all the requirements for inflammability, and again, it is sustainable because it is derived from the natural resources. These are the products that I was planning to talk about. So I wanted to talk about the composites, and I gave you some information about the plastics as well. And thank you very much for your interest. If you have any questions, I would be very happy to answer your questions. I hope